can't see anything now. I'm blind.
No, we are live.
Look
We
at
are
that.
live.
That's
Nice.
pretty cool.
Friends, we're back for episode something or other of the 4th season, I guess.
Correct.
We're a little late here. It's mostly Pondo's fault, but in the end, it's usually Rad's fault. So I feel like we can all look. This is we can all lift it together, right? We can all lift the blame together.
We can all lift it and set it on Rad together.
More drop it from a great height.
That's fine too.
Several notes before we get started. Raddosaurus rules are in effect, so minimum intro. I just have some announcements. One, I was told that as long as people still like the stream, they would say, "Is it Thursday yet?" in a Time of Total Warfare chat. Since that didn't happen today, I must assume, therefore, that you people no longer like or watch the stream. It hurts me deeply and builds upon my inferiority complex with Critical Role, who no longer even exist to counter me at night. If someone just type, "Is it Thursday yet?" in the Time of Total Warfare, yeah, Rad. Listen, you can't. A cast member can't do it after we've started. That
You can't tell me what to do.
That's
I just did it.
Okay,
I literally
fine.
just did what you said can't be done.
Based on what you just said, Rad, I'm about to ruin your whole life. You're a child of the 90s, correct?
I'm a child of the 80s, but
Okay.
part of my
90s.
childhood, part of my childhood occurred during the 90s. Yes, that's true.
I mean, I'm about to ruin probably SidAlpha, Pondo, and Rad's life right here by reminding them that as long as they were not thinking about the game, they were winning it. But since they just thought about it while I was saying it, they've lost.
What are you talking about?
The game. You lost it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What game is
Ooh,
this?
that's a
You
good
didn't
one,
play the
Pondo.
game?
It's a good defense.
I don't know what I don't understand what you're talking about.
Okay. Child of the 90s, everyone.
Sounds like you're trying to use some sort of old magic that was of high school.
Did somebody do this?
The way
art
he's
for
saying
you?
it makes me think that he lost the game and he doesn't want to admit it. What, the game? I don't know what that is.
I'm trying to figure out what reference this is from.
It's,
Who did this?
you don't remember the game?
Who did this mech
No.
art for you, Arthur? Is this
Which
is
Mechwarrior?
this
That's Bearded Jalapenos.
bearded? That's what I was
the
gonna,
Meta
that's
Seal.
what was my guess.
I'm sending that to you because I don't know if you have some way of converting that to be used in your art reel streams. You said to send you.
Oh yeah, just
also
delete all the
future.
white.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll do it.
Okay,
Alright.
thanks.
I got you.
What other announcements do I have?
Just ask Bearded to send it without the background. He can do it. It'd take him like 2 seconds to just hide the background and send it to you as a PNG.
I'll do that.
Tell him, can I have it with transparent background, please?
Bearded. Can I get that with transparent background, please? Number 2 or 3. I guess it's 3 now. As you know, we are not doing intros, although we're 3 minutes in and we haven't started yet, so that's pretty questionable. However, the only person that cares is Grimdark James. As a result, I am making this dark bargain, and I'm glad that he's here. That I know he's here. If Grimdark James ever ended up on one of my shows, I guess that show we could always do intros on. But since that hasn't happened yet, I guess we'll never know.
What are you talking about? He is on one of your shows.
I just did a weird look at the camera thing.
I missed it.
Okay.
Sorry, I ruined your joke.
All right, it's fine.
It's always
this-
funnier if you
was it-
explain it anyway.
Was that reference to the game, the 1997 film?
No, Sid.
It's a game you play, and the whole point of the game is not to think about the game. If you remember the game, you
It's
lose
about
the game.
not thinking about the game. If you
game,
remember
Sid.
the game, you lose.
I
The
never
game.
played that game. I
It's all right.
never
That's
even
fine.
knew that game was a game.
Well, congratulations. You just lost it.
Okay.
Look, Sid.
I feel
It's-
like I won't
It's
actually
the kind
lose
of
any
game
sleep
only
over
high
this, though.
schoolers could come up with, Sid. Don't worry about it. It's dumb as fuck.
Sounds like the kind of game that grade schoolers would come up with.
Sure. Excellent.
It's a,
I
it's
mean,
a
high
lot
school's
like the
still great.
make you look in the circle game. You know what I'm talking about? It's
Yeah,
the same
of
kind
course.
same kind
You
of
know, absolutely, right? I don't know exactly what you're talking about. Oh wow, what a great name! D&D
when you guys-
with THC, incredible.
When you guys played that game with the circle game, right? Did you play with the rule that if you could stick your finger in the circle but fast enough, then you got to punch the circle person?
Correct. Yes.
Yes.
All right,
Yep.
just making sure.
All right.
I was hoping that wasn't a thing that we made up.
Thankfully,
that's
I was
that
quicker than a
spread
lot
across
of my
the
friends
nation
too.
pretty quickly. All right, so yeah, previously on this show, you all hired Ozzy Taggart, I guess, as a personal bodyguard for your ambassador, Selena Lockwood.
I think it's more so she hired him.
She did,
There
yeah.
was like a general hiring thing going on.
She paid for it though.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure she just pulled out some cash from her pocket. and
Well,
was like,
I
"Here."
mean, look, there were contract negotiations, and she
Oh
superseded
look, I
them.
found a couple of million Seabills at the bottom of my purse. Here
Yeah.
we go.
It's kind
Sorry,
of
let me
like
just take out my spare cash from my glove box real
he's
quick.
kind of publicly traded, and even though he's contracted to the unit, Selena has like 80%
Publicly
of the
traded.
shares for his like.
She's got majority shareholders.
Yeah, she's the majority
chairman of the board.
Got like 99% of it. and
Yeah,
just-
probably.
The only 1% is just because she works under us.
So our first scene is the sun beginning to set, not beneath the horizon, but beneath the skyline of Marzuka, the city that you're staying in.
I dodge.
There is a Leopard class dropship with the words Jaguar Hunt painted on the side of it. There is an emblem of the Magistry of Canopus being... It has been painted on it, and next to it is the personal emblem of the noble family of Lockwood, the ambassadors. Not necessarily noble family, but the crest of the Lockwood ambassadorship.
What's that crest look like?
Yeah, what does that crest look like? There's no reason we wouldn't stop Cotton immediately, right now.
So that's
Got her.
actually, and actually there is an actual family crest.
Yeah?
Since that is the name of my actual family that I do not remember what it looks like.
That's
But I
fine.
might find it on Google.
I wanted to say it's just that like heart skull that I put on all of the Black Rabbit art.
Okay, that might be
What?
her personal emblem, but that's probably not the emblem of her family.
Fair.
Unless her parents were also like that.
They were not.
I didn't think so.
So this is the one that I actually remember seeing. It's a black and white shield and it has little white birds on it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Sergeant Major Eva Anastasi, your adjutant, is standing in front of a holotable through which this image is being transmitted. And she says, Colonel, I have the briefing ready for you.
No need to sound so dour. Is there? What is there? Is there a need to sound dour?
There's a lot has changed over the last few hours, and Lieutenant Commander Rapier has taken his leave to rest. I think he'll probably be out until you leave tomorrow morning.
Good. That man never sleeps. What's his?
Oh, you
What
mean
is
he's not-
going on? What has changed?
Well, first, the Draconis Combine militia troops have arrived. They took about 30% losses from clan strafing attacks, bombs, lasers, machine guns, missiles. They dealt what I can generously call minimal damage back to clan aerospace fighters. We're now up 4 light mechs and several gun trucks and about 150 Draconis Combine militia infantrymen. Normally I wouldn't think that's very much, but we need everything we can get our hands on.
Indeed.
Passed over any local prisoners that we have into their hands as per your earlier orders. In a slightly better note, we recovered several atmospheric balloons which came from our jump ship. Now, if you'll remember, there is a giant mess of debris in the upper atmosphere, and for the next few days it's going to begin falling in a pretty much, we're thinking somewhere around for the next year, the entire aerospace of this planet will be basically unusable over a wide band of the equatorial area. We don't anticipate anything actually hitting the ground intact, but it's gonna be bright skies every night. The good news is that the drop ship, or the jump ship, is hiding in that band somewhat successfully. It can't communicate with us directly, but Commander Sweet did leave several atmospheric balloons, which eventually ran out of gas and dropped to the Earth, which we have recovered. They are well, and should we find it necessary, they are in geosynchronous orbit above us. If we need to get out, we can take our drop ships, run to the jump ship, and make a one-day transit to a Lagrange point and pirate out. So
Very well.
we finally have that option, and it's good to hear that they're alive, of course.
Yes, I was actually growing a bit concerned with them.
They've been receiving all of our communications on the ground passively. As you might recall, sir, all of the naval personnel of both dropships protested some of your decisions regarding the conduct of prisoners.
Yes.
I hate to pile this on, but the jump ship crew also recorded cassettes of their protests as well. All members of the jump ship crew.
Very well. Well, I did make a promise that I would listen to everyone's grievances, and I will do so. So make sure those are all sent to my quarters, and I will review them.
Very well, sir. The situation regarding your infiltration mission to the capital has changed. We're not completely clear on a plan, but I personally pushed for something that would allow First Sergeant Lockwood to take center stage.
Oh?
There is a upcoming art exhibit in the capital where several high-ranking officers will be attending. It is assumed by the intelligence division, based on some evidence that we have, that their passes and identifications will be necessary in order to get into the Planetary Command Center. So, working with the intelligence division, we've devised a plan of entry to get you to that point. The first part takes place tomorrow morning. A clan supply base has set up between this city and the capital. So far, it appears to be undefended by mechs, and it seems to be little more than infantry setting up mech gantries. A sort of emergency supply base we assume that they'll have to fall back to reinforce the city or perhaps to attack us. They are ignoring anything that appears to be a civilian transport. So we have acquired a local, the future version of a clan F-150, which we will be... Bono's just like, yeehaw!
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I know what that is. Backwoods of West Virginia. Sorry.
I own an F-150, Arthur. So
Yeah,
you
it's
better
fine.
You better watch.
I
yourself.
already said the Catapult is the Ford F-150. Some have said it's the best-selling car in America.
Makes me want one even more.
Yeah.
Are you saying we're going to be infiltrating the clanners in the equivalent of an ice cream truck?
There won't be a cover on the back end, sir. It will be open.
Semantics.
We'll be providing you with crates labeled with food and relief supplies, but of course your weapons and any equipment you might need will be stored within them. We're also providing she like looks around the briefing room and says, our media division is providing you with costumes through which you might appear to be locals.
Very well.
I'm skeptical.
What?
I'm told that they're going to make you very local, sir. Just to reiterate, I hesitate to comment on what that might mean.
I'm very skeptical of that, but you know what?
Your mission will be to infiltrate the supply base as best possible. I don't know how to say this any other way. To go on a killing spree, eliminating all clan personnel there. We will come in to remove any supplies that we might be able to use. And if you could manage to collect several clean uniforms, you could pose as clan military officers in order to get into this art exhibit, wherein First Sergeant Lockwood will present one of her pieces as a token to the Smoke Jaguars, a tribute to them.
Have you discussed any of this with her?
I am discussing it with you, sir. This is the plan. We've been working on it for hours, and this is what we've got. Fortunately, sir, you got 4 days to finish the infiltration before the art exhibit is held. We have confirmation that high-ranking clan officers will be there, star captains and higher. It will be the perfect opportunity to kidnap one, acquire their genetic material and any base passes they need, and then use that to get on site in order to stop any potential nuclear threat.
So we're to infiltrate to sell art
Yes.
to the enemy.
Yes. And you aren't selling
Okay.
the art. The clans are communist and don't believe in currency, so you'll be presenting it as a token of the people of this planet, Albiera 3, to the great clan Smoke Jaguar.
Would they not recognize Black Rabbit and attempt to arrest us?
Has any member of the clan force actually seen your faces and lived?
I just point over to the stack of confiscated wanted
Let me just look up
posters
this-
of
So,
McGurk.
yeah, it's just
and-
McGurk, right? And she says, in that regards, she takes out a photograph of McGurk on Solaris wearing the El Guapo mask. It turns out that professional sumo wrestling is very popular on this planet.
Of course it is.
So you want so we're going in as a couple of military officers, a sumo wrestler, and a painter.
Sir, we've had only a few hours to get this done, but we're trying our best.
Realize this sounds like a joke that begins with a sumo wrestler walks into a bar.
Sir, the punchline is nuclear explosions, so
I just
Very
want to point
well.
out McGurk has like 10% body fat.
Right.
He lost it all in the.
He did. He's shredded.
You be the one that's looked down upon as far as sumo wrestlers.
Exactly. Yeah, he'd be pretty crappy sumo wrestler.
So the actual one shows up, all big, huge, 500 pounds, looks
Yeah.
at you.
All right. I suppose we should get Miss Lockwood painting then.
Do we have suppressors?
for your weapons, I don't know. Is that extra in the items section?
It's really
She
not.
Pulls
I
out
looked.
she pulls out Mechwarrior Destiny closed beta and flips to the equipment section. I don't
couldn't
know.
see
I've
it.
never actually had to put together a character's armament before.
Originally, I did have a suppressor on my sniper.
There's actually just not. There's just not. They just don't exist basically in the book. The book is like, if you want to do custom stuff, just talk about it with your GM. Like that's essentially all it says.
What kind of weapon are you looking to suppress?
An AR and a auto pistol.
Okay. So 2 automatic weapons. I think that maybe Rad will back me up on this. The sound suppression you're looking to achieve out of these weapons is not going to be considerable.
You just need
They're
enough
still
to...
loud as fuck.
I don't know what future suppression technology looks like, but if it's equivalent to 21st century suppression, yeah,
It's enough not to alarm a whole block.
yes.
No, if a suppressed
For the-
weapon fired on automatic is still enough to alarm a whole
You
block
wouldn't
full of people.
fire it on
No, not if you're
automatic.
not if you're firing like subsonic ammunition.
Yeah.
Tape a white noise generator to your gun.
You can, I mean, a high quality, suppressor is going to get it to where pretty much all you're hearing is the mechanical action of the rifle,
Yeah.
which is still a loud noise, but it's not anything like a gunshot.
And you typically wouldn't be using full auto if you don't have to anyway.
Sure, but then you're using subsonic rounds and all sorts of stuff. The bullet's going to be traveling much slower.
I mean, a suppressed like MP5, for example, firing subsonic ammunition is, you're not going to hear it in another part of the building, essentially. Not like typical background noise.
How about a suppressor for my sniper rifle or SRM launcher?
You can't suppress a SRM launcher.
I beg to differ.
You haven't tried hard enough.
You just have to throw the SRMs by hand.
Essentially,
Like a
suppressors
football.
typically reduce the range.
Your
with the
arm
burst
is the SRM launcher in that regard.
Well, it's canon. It's confirmed.
we
Can
put
be done.
Listen, if Black Rabbit wants to physically throw SRMs at people, I can't wait to watch this.
I bet McGurk would help me too.
Yeah, he
well,
would.
the two of you can get caught in the explosion when it lands and triggers the warhead. Yeah, a suppressor for your sniper rifle is probably available. A suppressor for all of your weapons are available. But again, none of these things, like the general populace might not know what's going on, but all of the clan warriors, if you start firing these things, people are going to be like, well, that sounds like a suppressed AR.
You think they're outside?
You're saying don't bother.
No, you're about
That's
to
what I'm
go.
hearing.
You're about to go
That's
into a
what I'm hearing,
major
too.
city, and if you want to, I don't
People
know,
wouldn't be
assassin.
saying that sounds like a suppressed AR. They'd be like, what was that metallic noise?
Yes,
It sounds like stuff banging, like metal banging.
I think that this is a good idea. I just don't want you to believe that you're going to be like, all right, I gunned down everyone in the room with my suppressed AR, Arthur. That means no one can hear them as I
No,
gun them
that's-
all down as they scream, holding the trigger.
No,
What you're doing is possible. I just don't want you to think that it somehow magically makes everything completely silent.
no, of course not.
Okay.
That's why
All
it's
right.
called a suppressor, not a silencer.
Okay.
You never responded to my idea about a weapon modification armory, Arthur. I'm assuming that just means you're not
Still
interested in
thinking
doing
about
that.
it. Still
Okay.
thinking about it. Haven't come to a conclusion yet.
All right.
I mean, I'm still waiting for Catalyst Game Labs to get back to me about even the most basic of questions. So
So that should be my expectation. That's what you're saying.
when I can talk to Catalyst Game Labs and get some idea of what their design theory is, we'll talk.
Okay.
We cut now in progress to Black Rabbit in the Silver Wing Raven media hall, wearing black booty shorts made of leather, a white tank top with a black biker's jacket, exposed midriff area in the middle of, they have a fake rain effect going on. Someone is splashing water down to make it look like it's raining. She's on a motorcycle and everybody's just like, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Beautiful, beautiful, amazing. This is everything we wanted.
She's on an Akira style motorcycle.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the Dark Rabbit photo shoot that was promised for not for the calendar, but for their own release. Black Rabbit Chan is its own thing, very popular with the internet otaku. Dark Rabbit is going to be exclusively for the motorcycle auto mechanic enthusiast kind of deal. Yeah, and it looks like they're done with that photo shoot. This completely different version of you. McGurk is nearby.
Hell yeah. Also wearing leather black booty shorts.
No, what you're wearing is your samurai outfit. They're doing all right, now make a hya like this. They're doing motion capture for your mobile video game.
Listen, always the consummate professional. McGurk is a seasoned, successful A-list actor. So he absolutely nails everything they ask him to do. He's got the little mocap dots on him.
Yep. They're okay, all right, now we need a grunt you've been hitting your stomach, but it's right where your abs are the hardest. So not you're really hurt, but just that you're slightly surprised. Go.
He drinks some water with lemon in it and gives them 8 different grunt sound bites that they can put into the game.
All right, now we need the sound of you making 3 dots in a row. Something has.
He gives him the Vegeta.
Oh, no.
All right. Now we need you to do a look of surprise and then stalwart resolve as the 0x00 shows up, and then you are like, ugh, because you know you're going to have to fight this thing on foot.
He does like the Dwayne the Rock Johnson like smolder look.
And someone nearby is just like, we're good, sir. The director's like, all right, cut. We are done here.
He just knocks the whole thing out in like 5 minutes.
One go. Yeah, one take.
They
That's all
had
they
him
need.
scheduled for the day, and he was just like boom, 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 boom. Did them all.
Do we want to make a roll to confirm this? Did you take any acting skill on your character sheet?
No,
He's gonna be like, no, I put it all in the
thought you
guns
did,
and
actually.
mechs, Arthur.
I don't think so.
I thought you did.
He has a decent charisma,
You have
but I don't know that
you put 2 points into
you have some
acting.
points in it. Oh, because I wanted him to be able to lie at some point.
Good, excellent.
Yeah.
Why don't you make an acting roll real quick? Because
Okay.
this is literally what you're doing.
I don't have tabletop open, so somebody roll it for me.
Sure, Sid, why don't you roll it?
I got it.
Nope, Sid, why don't you roll it?
Is that a +5?
It's 11.
11.
Okay. It's not the best performance anyone's ever seen, but certainly it's more than good enough for a motion capture mobile game.
Wow,
Right?
Arthur, not impressed by an 11.
Listen, 11 is good enough. You said 5 minutes, one take, okay? What we're walking away with here is not going to win you an Emmy, but it is going to let
It was
you
for
go-
a video game, so I wouldn't expect to win an Emmy.
Oh, okay. You get what I mean, though. So they're taking the motion capture balls off of you, and you're still wearing your Sam filming for the next Rage Shadow Legend. Yeah.
I have somebody come and put like a bathrobe over my shoulders with my name like embroidered on the back, like a Macho Man Randy Savage.
So you're wearing that over your samurai armor
Yes,
now?
over top of it. Yes, correct.
All right, the two of you are done with your individual photo shoot / motion capture sessions.
I snap my fingers. Somebody brings her a bathrobe too. It's got her name embroidered on the back of it.
You know
Where
what?
did you get this?
Just go ahead and take a plot point, Rad.
Okay. All right. Noted.
Except there won't be any plot points used in this game or
Look,
in this episode. So
I have noticed that you rarely use them during the personal sessions, but if I don't give them out, Rad will be like, man, I do all this funny stuff, and then Arthur never rewards them, so I never feel like doing funny stuff again. So I made a call. I made a flash call. Just gonna go ahead and give this one. We'll see how it works out. I wouldn't want Rad to think his efforts were going unnoticed.
Gee, thanks, Arthur.
Why did you sound sad when you said
I didn't. I'm not sad. No, I'll take my plot point. I'll take it to the bank. Yeah, he just doesn't respond when she's like, "Where'd you get this?" He just like gives a little a sly shrug.
I
he's
have
got-
my ways.
Yes. And then it has like a flashback of him like sitting in his room, like unboxing. Like he's got one for every single person like in the unit. And he's like,
where did
How
you
nice.
get these?
They're gonna
This is
love
the
it.
real question.
yeah, he had them made.
How nice is it though?
It's pretty nice. It's so
Egyptian silk 600 thread count.
it's nice to Black Rabbit. It's probably nice in like a quaint kind of way, right? Like it's not. It's certainly not like something.
Oh, so
she
this
would
Is
is
it
do.
what
like
the-
hotel level?
Yeah, like nice hotel, right? Like yes, very soft. Like obviously never worn before. Like
A hotel that isn't a chain.
right,
Yeah, like a good hotel, like the
a
Imperial.
good hotel. Yeah, like a hotel towel.
These are cute.
I am glad you like it.
These are cute. They're almost as good as the ones that I buy for my servants.
So, Black Rabbit, you're approached by a man. He's kind of actually very short, Japanese heritage. Black hair has been done up into a samurai top knot. He's wearing tiny little, those little glasses that don't nearly cover your eyes. He's got like a pad in his hand and a pen in the other, and he's just like, excuse me, Miss Lockwood, could you sign my illustration? I've been doing the history of the unit work, and I just really admire all those times you took a stand against the colonel, and addressed him as if he was an equal to you and prevented him from committing extremely violent acts. I admire that kind of the fortitude that you have to stand up to authority.
Oh, it's just because I don't really respect men that much. But she signs it.
Oh. I
Not
hadn't
all
really...
men, just men who think they're, high up.
I think I'm going to have to do
Or
some
rather,
revisions.
one man in particular.
Please excuse me.
There's just one man, not
Name's
a
Harrigan.
fan.
Not all men.
Okay. He's just backing away, just like, all right, okay. You can see him pull out a phone, and he's just like, all right, guys, we need to redo the whole thing.
She'll lean over to McGurk and be like, I'm still bad at that kind of stuff.
No, you're fine. That guy's an asshole.
Wait, he's an... What the fuck? Wow. Wow. I don't know what to say about that.
Don't worry about that guy. He'll be fine.
At this point, you all
Men are
get...
jerks. All
She
men.
gives him a high five.
There are several men nearby who are just like, what the fuck, bro? Like, they look at you wondering where your bro solidarity is.
He looks right back at him like, what?
All right, they get back to work because their job is running a studio. As the camera zooms out, we can see that, they've really jazzed up the aerospace launch bay that leads directly into 1/3 of the mech bay. These people, they don't have a huge amount of space, but for a dropship, they have a comparatively large amount of space to work with. The number of staff members on hand seems to have risen to about 20. And yeah, they're just buzzing away. Some cubicles have been set up. There's a guy that's just drawing constantly, just making manga for the... well, it's not manga, it's comic book. He's doing the comic book for Commander Star League. And there's like a big chart nearby that's the lore bible where it's like, Menace, does he die? ? Clone ? Like Commander Star League, shield, sword, all these other things. Where they're trying to keep straight all the lore so that in like 30 years someone's gonna go back and be like, wow, all this lore really makes sense, and I don't know, there's no weird shit going on. You get a message indicating that the two of you need to report to Dropship's briefing room for a briefing. All right, now you're looking at me.
I do it.
Okay. Two of you travel to the briefing room where you see Harridan and Bandito leaning over a holographic briefing machine. Eva Anastasi kind of nods when Heavy 7 comes in and basically just semi-acknowledges that Selena exists. And no eye contact is made, but she looks in your general direction.
Who is this? The attendant?
Yes.
I
You
wonder if
shoulder
she-
checked her before?
No, I didn't.
Oh, yes, you did. You knocked her to the ground.
No,
No,
that
I
never
did.
happened.
Oh.
I
You did
know.
that?
she shoulder checked Black Rabbit and then she
Yeah.
just knocked her to the ground.
Correct.
She shoulder checked her.
Yeah, that's what happened.
For some reason I think Rad was involved in that.
Rad
somehow.
joked
No,
about
I made a
pushing her
joke.
back down
Okay.
after she got up, but he
All
didn't
right.
do it.
But it didn't happen.
Okay.
Black Rabbit doesn't even look in her direction.
Wow. So royal. So regal.
I think it's more so they're trying to do the whole thing. Well, if you don't like me, I don't like you.
No, she's just
Bye-bye.
more focused on whatever she was called in for from Bandito and Harridan.
So techs are coming in with all of your guns. At your request, Bandito, silencers have been fitted to all weapons appropriate to fit a suppressor.
And some that aren't. I would
No,
hope.
none that aren't. There's no suppressor on the man-portable autocannon. There's no suppressor on the SRM launcher.
Well,
But it's a grenade launcher.
so if you put a suppressor on each barrel, of
See,
the-
there is a suppressor. They're just duct taped on.
No, these things do not exist.
Like they just took a rifle suppressor and just duct taped it around the barrel.
Sergeant Anastasi slides you keys across the table, Harridan, and says, "This is for the transportation."
Oh yes, the ice cream mobile. Who would like to drive?
I wish to remind you,
Got it.
sir, that again,
I toss
there's
the keys to him.
no ice cream in this vehicle. It is a hover pickup.
Would you like me to contact Comstar and ask them to provide us the definition of facetious?
No, sir.
Thank you. So, Black Rabbit, we do have a favor to ask you here for this mission. Is going to be rather key component that you devise a bit of an artwork, a painting or some such. To be able
Why?
to legitimize your presence within clan-controlled area. You're going to be posing as an artist. Heavy Seven is apparently going to be a sumo wrestler. Figure that one out later. And the two of us will be military.
So you need one of my artworks? I need to make an artwork?
So,
It would be
Sergeant
extremely
Anastasi
helpful,
says,
yes.
if you could make something that would please warriors of Clan Smoke Jaguar, perhaps something abstract or jaguar-y or smoky.
And maybe you just pull up something that, like, in the records that Smoke Jaguars have accepted as art.
I'm going to ask you a question. How much Smoke Jaguar cultural lore acquired over the years?
I imagine if you knew that they were going to be facing Smoke Jaguar, he'd probably be doing his conspiracy wall thing again.
You conspiracy.
His
there
conspiracy
will
wall goes up.
absolutely be a role for this.
Sure.
To know
Conspiracy roll.
the artwork of the Smoke Jaguar
I
clan.
was just going to, like, look it up, like, in files or, like, Google.
Are there
essentially.
any depictions?
I mean,
of...
the problem is that Google on this planet doesn't work for you. Google works for the Smoke Jaguars.
Fair enough.
I will allow you to make a backdated investigations roll.
We'll have to speak with Comstar about that.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna put the difficulty here at 13.
Let's see here. 10 plus 5 is 15.
Okay. Not only do you know clan-specific lore, you actually do know Smoke Jaguar art. So I want you to imagine King Leonidas of Sparta, not the real King Leonidas, but the one that we imagine from the movies. Imagine that he owned a spaceship and was like a super Spartan warrior. Now imagine you threw leopard print on top of all of his artwork of just like abstract mannequin soldier stuff. All right.
So we're looking at Space 300, but with leopard speedos.
They love making their chairs in military facilities are made in one of two ways. They are completely metal with no cushion and are simply a functional design with absolutely nothing on it. The number two thing that they have are huge plushy chairs made out of Smoke Jaguar leather hide with Smoke Jaguar leopard print, which is leopard print but all smoky and black. Like, when it comes to Smoke Jaguars, they go all out. Otherwise, there's no ornamentation at all. So you either need to make something that's super abstractly steel, industrial, clannish, or you need to make something that's like, oh yes, I am a German art director. I'm putting out my first movie, and what I really like is leopards. Just Smoke Jaguars everywhere. When I get my hunting chair, because I am a German and I have a hunting lodge, Smoked jaguar leather everywhere. Overstuffed smoked jaguar hunting chair. The antlers made out of smoked jaguar bones. Yeah.
Good luck.
They go crazy for that
So, Black
smoked
Rabbit, do you
jaguar
think
shit.
you'd be able to accomplish that?
It's like, what if
I
painted a
guess.
smoked jaguar and put rabbit skulls all over it?
And ram an I-beam down its throat. There you go.
She kind of sketches something on a little piece of paper and like shows it to Harridan. And it's a very messy sketch because she hasn't done much with it yet. But it's basically like a big smoked jaguar pelt, but each spot is another smoked jaguar.
Ooh, fractal smoked jaguars.
Hmm.
Go for it.
Do you think they'd like that?
Eva snorts as if she's looking at the dumbest thing she's ever seen. She's like,
Actually, probably yes.
If you have something to say, Adjutant, I wish you'd just say it.
I apologize, sir. I have nothing to add. Involuntary reaction.
Of course. Understandable. Miss Lockwood, however, is an accomplished artist. I'm sure she'll be able to come up with something sufficiently exhilarating.
Now Sid
Man,
is the
you just
German
made
art
that sound so
director.
pompous.
She'll come up with something sufficiently exhilarating.
Black Rabbit just has like a smug look on her face.
Okay, now I can't unsee Peter Stormare playing Harridan in this episode. No one comments on it. It's just for one episode.
It's not even for an episode, just for like a segment.
Just
This
one
segment
scene.
specifically. So it's just back to the normal actor.
He's Herzog from The Mandalorian for like one
Bounty
scene.
hunting is a dangerous profession.
It's a complicated profession.
Yeah, exactly.
Art is a complicated process.
Apparently, we're getting costumes to help blend in.
What?
Oh yeah.
Oh
so
yes, I'm looking forward to this. I'm sure it will be
All right.
sufficiently
here
ridiculous.
you go.
More costumes?
So
Black Rabbit's still dressed up in her photo shoot stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, what are you wearing?
The thing you signed me up for.
I don't recall signing you up for anything.
I think you signed that up
Calendar.
yourself.
yeah, you signed
Oh,
yourself up
that's
for this.
Oh yes. No,
That one.
I left
No,
that up to
she
your
she
decision.
assumes this spiraled down from his one.
Ah. Well, you
Oh,
know what
okay.
they say: assumptions make an ass out of Harridan.
They do say that. I've heard that.
It's
Harridan also does that to himself sometimes.
it is always Harridan's fault. That is a rule of the universe.
So they wheel in 4 perfectly tailored and sized Japanese hillbilly outfits. We're talking
Sick.
overalls that only have one shoulder strap done up. We're talking not like yukata or kimono level stuff, but just like nice, comfortable outdoor robes that they
It
wear
looks
in the
exactly like what
countryside.
McGurk is already wearing.
No, you're wearing a bathrobe.
Oh yeah.
So where's the costumes?
Those are the most stereotypical outfits I think I've ever seen in my life. They're
Sir,
perfect.
the local meat. Oh, okay. All right. I don't need to fill you in on this one. Okay.
Wait, these are the costumes?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Our local media branch has procured what they believe will allow you to blend in as farmers fleeing from the war, seeking refuge in the capital.
They are just nondescript enough without being too nondescript. I approve.
I don't think I've ever touched something so cheap in my life.
I think part of Bandito dies a little bit.
I think part of Pondo just died a little bit.
No offense. I'm sorry.
No,
I forgot you're poor. I'm so sorry.
Black Rabbit can my God, you did just
I'm
say
just
that.
gonna go over here.
Black Rabbit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Consider it a bit of an adventure to see how the other side lives.
I didn't say it was a bad thing. I was just pointing out a fact.
Harridan, at this point, Eva Anastasi makes eye contact with you. Like, this is why I don't like her.
just my eyes narrow towards her slightly, and just let my gaze slide away from her.
You know, she's just giving you a significant NPC glance.
Advance. Well, then.
You're too young for her.
How old is she?
She's pretty old. Just old, white-haired little grandmother.
Isn't Harridan like?
She is. I thought she was like around our age.
Then what the hell was she trying to do? What the hell was she trying to shoulder check Black Rabbit for? That sounds like a good way to get a broken hip.
Wow.
Is she like McGurk age or Harridan age?
Older than both of them.
I thought she was just like 30s, 40s. That's the only reason I pushed her back
20s,
down.
30s,
like
maybe early 40s.
Late 50s.
That's like McGurk's age.
Yeah, she's getting ready to retire.
So what the hell is she doing shoulder checking Black Rabbit for? That's just a bad idea.
Doesn't like people that treat the common folk like trash. Black Rabbit's like, I got you a birthday gift. I shipped a fucking
mechanical bull.
11 star systems for you.
Circuit.
Yeah. And Eva Anastasia's just like, really? Yeah.
It's just jealousy. That's all it is.
Sir, you all will need to start to rest soon. Just to quickly plot point the plan. Step 1, tomorrow morning you will pretend you are fleeing refugees while passing by the clan resupply base being set up between here and the capital. The 4 of you will execute an assault on this facility, hoping to gather clan officer material, or at the very least clan military material that will allow you to swap your identities. From there you will infiltrate the art exhibition over the next 4 days. Sorry, it'll be 3 days then. And having created the piece of art, present it as best you can. Find any clan officers that you can lure away from the rest, and acquire everything you need from them. Might need like an eye or a hand or blood. Certainly a security badge to get into the command center.
That shouldn't be a problem.
I mean, she looks at you like, that's the problematic part of this. Is the part of the plan we're worried about.
Black Rabbit, how are your seduction skills?
I think that once
Excuse
again,
me?
Eva laughs without she's just like, sir, this is a sexual harassment lawsuit in the process.
Sir, I need to explain to you that we're dealing with clans, not typical intersphere scum.
Are you saying that?
I'm saying is they don't think with their pants like rapier. They think with their heads.
It's a tried and true tactic: lure someone away and then horribly murder them and take their body parts for our own ends.
They think with their heads on the top of them, not the ones between their legs.
Not all of them.
I want to cut back to all of the scenes where Delta is looking at new Comstar issued pornographic material of clan, like clan themed porn, and just realize you're so wrong about every part of this conversation. And then we cut back to Delta.
Delta, who was corrupted by William.
Listen.
No, Delta did talk about sex a lot. He was super proud about sleeping with his sister.
It's true.
I just want to remind you that he told you that as you in confidence as you were his therapist.
I am talking out of character.
Okay. just so that you don't think that the clans aren't horny on Maine. They are absolutely horny on Maine. Speaking of which, did you know it's National Horniness Day? Not making that up.
That can't be true.
It is absolutely true.
I would have known about this.
Someone would have told me.
I think it was.
It's not National.
It was trending on Twitter.
National Horny Day is April 16th.
Odd thing to bring up now.
Really? You think that's... I could have done that at any other point in the stream, but literally right now is the odd point.
Absolutely.
Okay. Just do whatever you want. Jesus.
So, Black Rabbit, how are your seduction skills?
How do you think they are?
I don't know.
I
honestly don't recall ever having seen you flirt with anyone. Or is that
there's my
entirely the
skills
point?
right there.
Okay. There you
Pretty
go.
sure there's a whole situation that we went through with her fiance and.
Well, that option
Please?
is probably not going to be available.
Oh, I'm sorry, former
sure
fiance.
I'm sure we can think of something then. Bandito, what are your seduction skills like?
May I need to point you to the several sexual harassment charges I've been given in the past? That's not even trying to seduct anybody.
I think yours are worse than mine.
What the
Even
hell does
says,
sexual? What the hell does
absolutely,
sexual?
sir. The ladies can't keep their hands off him.
What the hell does sexual harassment have anything to do with attempting to lead an enemy clan so we can horribly slaughter them and take their body parts to be able to accomplish our own covert ends?
Hey, McGurk, what are your seduction skills?
McGurk, what are your seduction
I
skills?
feel like before you even have to just look at him, and he's got like soft serve on an ice cream cone that he's like licking, and he just like moves his robe over to the side a little bit, and he's like,
No, stop.
Objectively, sir, Major Gray's ass does keep it tight, sir. I believe if you must do a seduction plan, he is the member of your team most suited. I'll remind you that...
I don't think that's true at all.
This
I will-
weird that she's like
I'm pretty sure
50 and he's
Bandito's
like
got a
30.
1 like charisma.
just this is just from looks. Just from looks. She says,
Yeah, all I gotta do
as
is
you
keep my
might
mouth
know, the
shut.
clans look down upon people of age, like, and she gestures to Harridan and McGurk and herself.
I feign like insult. And then I go back to licking my ice
She
cream
points
cone.
to the now graying hair in your...
At this point, I'm just rubbing the ice cream cone all over my face.
I was like, that's all right, Heavy 7. If it makes you feel any better, you keep it tight as well.
Warrant officer, are you attempting to display your seduction skills right now? Because I want you to know they're having a negative effect on at least one woman in the area. What are you doing with that ice cream? First, where did you get that, and why would you think that's appropriate to bring into the briefing room?
He points over to the soft serve ice cream machine that he's had installed into the briefing room.
When did that get here?
You're the agenda.
That was
Does it have twist?
Hell yeah.
was last week.
I'm going to insist you spend 1 XP for that.
It's my Yakuza buddies, man. It's part of my connection positive trait.
I'll spend an XP for it.
Got like big kanji with like anime characters like on the the front of it.
It's a mascot ice cream.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty soon, we're gonna have the only briefing room in the inner sphere with like a soft serve ice cream machine, a cappuccino machine, a margarita mixer.
Yeah. She's like, "Where'd you get
dispenser.
that?" And I point at it, and like as I point at it, Black Rabbit like looks over, and she's like halfway through like doing a swirl cone.
Yep.
Sir, I believe that military discipline is breaking down during this briefing.
Well, you haven't been here very long, have you?
This is about normal.
Every once in a while, having a bit of a lax discipline can burn off added stress and can lead to continued operational discipline in the field.
I haven't begun to break it down yet. Better get ready.
Benny, whip out the
Point
boombox.
towards him and then back to cross
I
arms.
spike my rest of my ice cream cone on the ground like it's a football.
Warrant officer, I want to remind you that someone
Oh,
has
that
to
was
come
a
in here and
waste.
clean that.
Duly noted. Was there anything else you wanted to remind me of? I'm losing patience with you and your attitude.
She just looks at Harridan like, what the F?
Harridan's just dead, fucking no expression.
Black Rabbit's doing that like she's eating her ice cream cone with it. That's
It's
none
like
of my
probably
business.
studying the map and like I don't even hear what's going on right
She
now.
picks up one of the wall-mounted comm
She has to have
circuits.
been around for like years, right? Like
Yes.
she's not like a new person.
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to need cleaning in the briefing room. Soft serve on the ground in the cleaning room. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just deadpanning her at this point. I'm like, I didn't fucking come here to be grandma'd. Okay. I'm not saying that, but that's what my expression is saying.
Not paying any attention to you. Sir, I think we can conclude the briefing at this point. If you'd all like to retire so that you can rest and have your uniform costumes ready for tomorrow morning. We're going to take your weapons and load them into the crates on the truck.
I just look up. Yes, very well. Good. Thank you, everyone. And I'll continue studying the map, trying to make sure I have as much of all of it memorized as possible.
Okay.
I walk out complaining about how that could have been done over email.
Oh, okay. Now that is the most sergeant thing you've ever said.
Stop griping, Grandpa.
Oh,
Like
man.
60 seconds later, he gets an email. You're grandpa.
At least one letter is misspelled.
Yeah. It's got it's grand and it's got like the paw emoji.
All
No
uppercase. No periods.
Black Rabbit will actually hang back for them to leave to go talk to Harridan for a second.
Okay, like Eva hangs out in the room for a few moments and then it's just like, okay, I'm going somewhere else. It's really awkward.
Do you actually want somebody to try and seduce one of the guards?
Look up from the map. Well, it is a possibility. This is going to be an art gallery. Well, you will be presenting a piece, so there will be a lot of eyes on you. It would make a certain amount of sense from an operational standpoint that because of that, there would be a lot of people attempting to converse with you. It would be a very rather simple opportunity.
You think that's a good idea? If you haven't noticed, sometimes I rub people the wrong way. She gestures to where Eva Anastasia was standing.
I feel like Mandy is still sulking in the corner about the costume thing too.
Like Harridan put both hands down on the map table and say, there's one thing you have to understand. You are very blunt and you are very direct, which can occasionally rub some people the wrong way. But look at Delta. Look at
When you say that, he pops his head in the room and goes, "Sir?"
Creepy.
Hey, Delta.
Oh, soft serve.
No, I'm volunteering for the cleaning crew, sir. Apparently there was...
Oh, yes, Heavy 7 was being a bit of a child.
You know, we could ask
Thank you.
Delta about that clan stuff.
Yes, Delta.
Yes,
Actually,
he looks mildly offended when you're like, that clan stuff. He's like...
She doesn't want to specify what they're talking about. Not like she's saying it in a bad way.
Delta, I'm going to have to ask you bluntly. We're going into a situation where it might necessitate or even be fortuitous for Black Rabbit to potentially temporarily seduce a member of the clan Smoke Jaguar.
So he puts his hand like up under the briefing room door and lowers his bulk-in because of course it's not made. This is a inner sphere Union dropship that's over 100 years old, not made for elementals to easily traverse. So he comes in and then he lifts the mop bucket machine and places it down and starts cleaning and says, "Absolutely, sir. I can provide you with what you need. I am an expert at clan seduction. However, it may be difficult for Sergeant Lockwood to... It's going to require some deception on her part."
Would the clans be more attracted to me or Bandito?
Yeah, like he pauses as if he has no idea how to process the absurdity of the question.
Think objectively.
You can
no
be
one here
honest,
is
I'll
going to
take
be
it.
taking any offense whatsoever.
Yeah,
this is
it's
for
the
operational
ridiculousness of the
concerns.
premise, sir. Neither of you... You have to remember, this is coming from a Steel Viper, but my understanding of how the Smoke Jaguars work is going to shift this. What we look for in a partner is as varied as any inner sphere, from what I can tell. However, unlike you spheroids, some among the Crusader faction of the Steel Vipers and the Crusader faction of the Smoke Jaguars, which is a Smoke Jaguar period, end of story, they look for purity of bloodline before physical attractiveness. You're going to have
seduction for the clanners is more of an interview as opposed to a biochemical process.
So he gestures to the thing on his wrist, his codex, and says, you're going to need to acquire a codex and hack into it, which could be difficult, to present yourself as a true-born Smoke Jaguar warrior, or a true-born, I suppose, Ghost Bears and Nova Cats are operating on the planet, which would certainly explain why they had never met you before. Smoke Jaguars specifically are aggressive, unforgiving of weakness. Out of the two of you, I believe that the level of aggressiveness and unforgivingness of Sergeant Lockwood would probably be more in keeping with the traditional romantic partner values. Objectively, Major Gray is a man with qualities some might consider to be fulfilling. I mean, he stretches out to his full, 8.5 foot tall height, and it just says, not my type, you understand. And there are people who consider me to be very attractive for an elemental. He flexes slightly. It's a little underscored by the fact that he's currently cleaning the room with a mop.
He does the Arnold peck jiggle a little bit. Or Terry Crews.
Terry Crews. Yeah.
Terry Crews is probably who this guy is played by, actually.
That's perfect. I love it.
They Gandalf him so he's taller than the rest of the cast in CG, but yeah, it's Terry Crews.
So we need to acquire a codex first, and then we can figure out.
We have plenty of codexes around. The problem is altering it to include your genetic legacy and military history, personal biography.
I can tinker with it.
I mean, he looks at you like he believes that you're a complete and total idiot who has no understanding of gland technology.
That's harsh.
I mean, according in the Steel Viper's point of view, the inner sphere is 100 years behind them in technology. So he's like, yes, of course you can. Maybe I'd better assist you with that, Major. I'm on light duty. As you can see, he gestures to the cone that he's currently picking up and throwing in the trash. I could certainly put my time to better use helping craft a persona for you. A Jaguar persona, as it is.
Best part of almost a decade. That's fine. I understand.
2, if possible, 1 for each of them.
Yes.
Very well. I guess the 2 of you should come with me, he says as he finishes up the mopping.
It's his pride just chipping away little by little as it's getting shattered.
Anyways, as I was saying, Black Rabbit, at the beginning of all this, I was stating that the things that tend to put some people off are qualities that the clanners tend to find refreshing, and your directness and your bluntness.
That doesn't make me feel better.
It should. It really should. Because you are direct and you are open and you are honest. Those are not negative qualities.
I do have one concern. If we're pretending to be, farmers running off, and that's how we got to this art show, would me being a clanner undermine that?
I think the idea is to acquire suits, acquire clan clothing before that.
Yes, we're donning these farmers' clothes to be able to infiltrate
the city.
Waypoint Alpha, and then there we'll be eliminating the guards on post there, obtaining proper clothing and documentation that can be doctored to be able to take us the rest of the way.
Right.
So there you go. And as there will be a bit of a firefight, I'd recommend that whatever you create for the art show is kept in a protective case, preferably something bulletproof.
Yeah, no speaking in contractions. That's going to be the hard part.
Yeah, we're going to have to work on the contractions part.
I guess I should say that is going to be the hard part.
I ain't good at not using contractions. That's going to be a little bit difficult to learn. But that's just me. Shit.
So Delta's just like, can't use the word shit. Stravag, Surat.
Right. You also, wait, you're speaking in contractions as well.
I haven't been a member of the Steel Viper clan for almost a decade.
Fair enough.
Don't judge him, Bandito.
Okay.
I think the two of you should come with me.
Right.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Is it Thursday yet? As Delta turns and says that, there's like a do and the screen goes black. That's the perfect place to take our break. We're close to the halfway point. Might as well. I mean, that's a good outstinger. We'll be back in about 8 minutes for the second half, where we're going to be introduced to the clan sonas of Bandito and Black Rabbit, which I have been writing up in secret over the last few minutes, because who knew they'd be like, you know what we should do? We should pretend to be clanners. It's going to be so good. Can't wait for everybody to get shot. Stick around.
It's going to end horribly.
Everything does
It'll
on
be
this
brilliant.
show. You remember season 3? Remember season 1?